Hello, my friends, and welcome back. Thank you very much for being with me again today. I have never seen politicians, foreign ministers, except Annalena Baerbock of Germany, being so infantile and bringing arguments so childish to in front of the entire world as the American government does. And this is not the first time. It happened before. The first time when I saw that, I was perplexed. It was when General Colin Powell showed up in front of the United Nations Security Council and he presented evidence of Saddam Hussein's nuclear program and weapons of mass destruction. Those chemical labs all over the place. I was a young man then, and are this the way the Americans are? It can't be. It can't be. You can see through it. This is childish. This is infantile. They are doing the same thing with Iran right now. I'm going to show you two articles. The first one is the lead article coming from the Telegraph. Iran building missiles, and I'm quoting, designated solely to strike America. This is Marco Rubio. This is the United States of America's Secretary of State. I repeat, Iran building missiles designated solely to strike America. Iran is producing missiles designated to strike America, Marco Rubio has warned. But why? Why would they strike solely America? Why? Have you asked yourselves? No. A individual who is, narcissist. A narcissist does not have introspection, does not have self-awareness, cannot look at his actions or her actions in an objective way, outside of its own subjectivity. No, why would they do it? Do you know why that would happen? Do you know, if true, let's start with that one first. If true, why Iran would design weapons only to strike United States of America? I guarantee you this guy will say, well, I don't know, like the September 11th, 2001. Long time no see. Why? They hate our freedoms. This was another example of stupidity coming from these guys. That's intellectually insulting. So it's clear that Iran would strike United States of America if United States of America starts a war for Israel. We all know this. The whole world knows this. My fellow Americans, the whole world knows this. They know it too. So then the question would be, why don't they change that? They can't. They are owned. So that's the first topic. And the second one, to show you again how these guys are operating in a delusional, criminal, I will say, world. Look at the second article. And this is idiotic again. This helps answer the other question, or give the justification, the answer to why these guys are doing it. It's because of this. Rubio reveals United States of America's condition for global nuclear arms deal. You say, what are you talking about? Let me read the first sentence. No agreement will be made without Beijing. The American Secretary of State has said. Do you understand the hypocrisy already? Link it to Iran, and add Israel in it, and you will understand exactly what I'm talking about. Any future nuclear arms control agreement must include China alongside the US and Russia. That's it. That's it. How about England? How about France? The Russians said, we will do it. If you include China, then you have to include Europe. And then the big elephant star of David from in the China shop is what? If you're so concerned with China, why don't you try to go and see Israel, if it has nuclear weapons, why don't you go and see it? This is like asking someone who you supposedly have to have a serious conversation, do you really believe that it is possible, or it happened, really happened, that Noah in the Old Testament, in their Old Testament, really built the ark when he was 600 years old? And on top of that, do you really think, really believe that Noah died when he was 900 years old? And if the answer is yes, then you talk about weather, you talk about other things. Okay? So the same here. Okay, you want arms control? Okay. Or you don't want arms control. You want arms control? Okay. But only Russia, China, and the United States of America. No, I want Israel, the first one on the list. And then you realize why Iran and others might want to build nuclear weapons. I gave you the answer. Do you understand it? This is insulting, and I think it's also criminal. It's also criminal. And they pretend not to understand. They pretend not to understand. They hate our freedom. I was here in the United States of America in September 11th, 2001. And I remember my co-workers, how they reacted to that. And I remember the TV presenters and the politicians, how they were wrestling and trying to give an answer to why whatever they witnessed happened. They immediately found out it was some Islamist. Immediately. And then they say, why would they do this to us? Why would those guys from the Middle East do this to us beautiful, fantastic Americans? There was no link with Israel. Zero. And then one person came and said, they did it because they hate our freedoms. And everybody was like, yes, because we're so free. Yeah, that's exactly why. And we all, the rest of the world, like, oh my God, what is going on in that wonderful country, United States of America? And I saw a lot of people around me buying that in America. Yeah, man, yeah, that's right, yeah. We should go and bomb all those guys over there and put a gas pump over there with oil, and we just suck. That's it, man. Except Israel. My friends, this is the game, and they want to be taken serious. Nobody takes them seriously. They know what's going on over there, and that is, we are owned but through those leaders, which are actually public servants. We're owned. Not only the politicians, the mass media, the entertainment, the colleges, the curriculum and schools for our children. Remember, who has access to the children's minds will have access to the adults' minds in 20 years, 10 years, and so on. That's it, my friends. It's very, very sad. That's reality. If you don't think that's reality, then yeah, they hate our freedoms, and those guys want to build a nuclear weapons because they just don't like us and our freedom for our greatest ally in the Middle East. Why? I don't know. It's our ally, but I don't know exactly why we have this special relationship. They will give you the answer. I don't know, because God wants us. We are a Christian country. They are a blah, 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 blah. They will find something idiotic enough for these imbeciles to get it hook, line, and sinker. Thank you very much for being with me again today. Stay strong, stay smart, look for the truth, and be just. Now you know why they are building that one. They say they're building, but no.